Hello.
Gotta help me, Doc. I'm addicted to posting. I
What?
can't get over my posting addiction. You gotta help me, Doc. Too much posting.
Now, see, in the tech industry, of which I work, there's a thing called Postman.
Yeah.
And you can easily develop a post addiction to Postman and all of its amazing, shitty functions.
I love Postman.
Have you or a loved one ever been afflicted by a terminal posting addiction?
Yes. Several
It's
of my
wild.
relatives' Facebooks are just covered. Pictures of the dogs, the things that they bought at a Starbucks back when Starbucks were open.
I've got a friend of mine who is currently, I don't know how else to say this, going through a transition and, somehow transitioning into an actually guy.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Terminal posting addiction. Same with, the people who will post, 3 of the selfie that's at the exact same angle a day, where it's I think you gotta step away from the postium, my friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, there are other angles that you can shoot your face from.
What's it called if you post too much, but instead of on the internet with words, it's in real life with your mouth? Because that's what I have.
I think that's just called verbal diarrhea.
Oh.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say word salad.
Okay,
Or
it can
word
also be
vomit.
described as foot and mouth syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. This whole time, I've been using the microphone from the webcam.
Okay.
That's why my audio was so weird.
That explains a
Because-
lot.
Oh. Okay.
That explains
good to
a
know.
lot.
Good to know.
So that's how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like we've run the course of that. Anybody else got any jokes for the cold open, or should I just
Mass
GameStop?
Effect! Sorry, I'm really excited because Mass Effect got announced, the remastered, the Legendary Edition.
Uh-huh.
It got a release date, and it's soon, and I'm
Is
happy.
it tomorrow?
No,
I-
it's not tomorrow.
I remember Andromeda. Just be careful, my friend. Just be careful.
I know. At this point, I'm jumping up and down, ordering shit online that I shouldn't order, and then I'm just but Andromeda, and I'm but Mass Effect.
No, dude, it's gonna be good though, because video games are good. People
Yeah.
try to tell you they're not, but most of them are actually pretty okay.
Yeah, most of
Yeah,
them are
they're
actually
decent.
pretty okay.
Andromeda, it looks silly, but hey, it's a game.
It could have been better. There are definitely areas that it could have been improved, and I was a staunch Mass Effect defender until I started streaming it and realized it's just meh.
Mm.
It's just meh in a franchise where every game is just yes, and that's the disheartening part.
Yeah,
Isn't it
mediocrity
old?
is the
What?
The game, Mass Effect.
Yeah.
It ended. Didn't it end in 4 different colored explosions?
3 different colored explosions and 1 universe where you just tell everyone to fuck off.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
in one universe where you lazily cash in with a game that is poorly developed under critical crunch.
It's
That's
not
our
Cyberpunk.
universe. You're right, it's not Cyberpunk. It's half the fucking games industry.
Hey, remember when I said video games were good? What the hell was I thinking when I said that? Why didn't anybody stop me? You guys just all smiled and nodded like I was saying something that was true.
Because
You
you're
just let me get
so
away
full
with
of
it.
hope and optimism, we can't destroy that.
It's because fact 1, video games are good. Fact 2, studios are bad. These things don't need to be contradictory. Video games can be good while studios are bad.
Yeah,
It's okay.
you just have to heavily rely on the indie market for all of your great innovations.
You just have to be racked with eternal guilt about your inevitable complicity in the market when you want to be around your friends and experiencing the same culture as them. Just a little guilt, a little shame. That's all you need. we're good.
I pre-ordered Mass Effect.
Bad answer, buddy.
For a system, I ordered it for PC. I already own all the games in 2 places.
Well, hey, don't worry, because Justin Trudeau pre-ordered all of our COVID vaccines, which means we're going to get them no problems.
Yeah.
He did.
Did he pre-order them the same way that he pre-ordered electoral reform and then was elected and went, oh shit, nope, cancel that?
Well, hey, you can't change the system what got you in.
Did he pre-order it like he pre-ordered the Keystone Pipeline?
You got to ride in on the horse what brung you.
If anybody is ever confused on the difference between conservatives, neoliberals, and leftists, Canadian politics is the best way to figure it out. Because, like, it's like if half of the Republican Party just admitted they were Democrats, half of the Democrats just admitted they were Republicans, and then there was a small group of people who were never able to get a majority government going, hey, the good legislation, the good legislation, the good legislation.
Yeah, but what about if we did the smart thing?
But economy.
And then every election, the Liberals get elected, and the NDP is sitting there going, like, listening to the Conservatives go like, wow, I thought the Liberals were supposed to be progressive, but here you go with this pipeline and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I know. You voted for, like, basically the school board president again. You voted for milquetoast. I know you thought it was changed, but it was milquetoast. It's been milquetoast every time. I don't know why you're surprised every election.
Hey, not to get political, but what the hell is milquetoast?
Is this a genuine question, or is this?
I have no idea. Listen, I get it. It's like bland or white or whatever. But if I were to consume milquetoast, would I die?
I don't actually know what milquetoast is as an item, but I know it's spelled MILQUE toast.
It's French?
No, it's like I don't know where it's from. It's a term to describe things that are mediocre.
It's probably from Quebec, originating to describe Quebec.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to think of putting some toast in some milk and then eating it, like...
Well, no, this is an expression. Quebec is full of dirt trash hicks, all right? We don't... Words like milquetoast do not come from here.
All angry connotations from Quebecers can go to Will. He'll be feeling all of the anger and hate, and I will be receiving none of it. Thank you. Because he actually speaks French, and I don't.
Okay, so milquetoast just means like a timid or feeble person, but milk toast, like MILK toast, is a legitimate food, which is upsetting.
Okay, I think we are well past clipboard time. I think it's time to just take a lid and just...
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
okay.
we were all sad and dreary and ready for your clipboard, and then you said, does anyone want to talk about anything? I blame you.
Yeah, this is your fault.
Everything I've done is my fault. I am a person of my own awakening. Anyways, I should read this. It's good to get away from the cutthroat competition of the freelands and the outright totalitarianism of West March. But how far did you go? From the bare face to a mask? From a deadly blade to a semi-deadly nightstick? No, for you, sailors and criminals and radicals, the threat was gone because the threat was the forest, and now you may behold the trees. Oh, the trees. A nice welcome fresh face. There is no doubt these seas are safer, no fascists or racists or interrogations. And for the uncriminalized and the unaware, this might be a sanctuary. But you work in the truth trade and the adventurer economy. You peddle very specifically in physical force against your enemies in defense of the powerless, which kind of just makes you another terrorist with rhetoric. Point being, the propaganda and alternative facts are gone, but now we just say all is well, and we all unite to condemn anyone who might happen to be an alarmist. Welcome to the fucking Estron Empire. You better run, you self-righteous little sea rats. Oh, and welcome to Bloodwine.
I keep
Hello.
thinking
Will
about
you-
your hair length every time I watch that. Like,
What?
your hair is so long now.
I know you can mark how far into 2020 we are by going
Yeah.
back at our old footage and just looking at my fucking hair length.
I
It
know.
It's so trim and airy,
I
and now
know.
we are so deep in the fuck.
I know. When I was searching for clips for the intro, I was just like, no, hair's too long. Hair's too long. Hair's too long. And I had to go back really, really far. I basically just went back all the way to the beginning of the year just to find
Yeah.
a clip.
Because my hair's really short back then. Like, I had my hair cut, and now I'm, like, kind of growing it out, so...
Lockdown is
And I'm
crazy.
basically the same. If anything, I had a bit more of a substantial shave recently, so I'm a little bit less unkempt than usual, but I assure you I will be back to unkempt as soon as possible.
It's the way to be. It's the way to live life.
It is.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking something along the lines of the old me and the boys bit, but this is going to be a little bit different. You guys are in the Empire. The mode of government in the Empire is technically an absolute monarchy, but it's a theatrical republic, which means you guys are going to be interchangeably taking the role of different ministers who have, through big public stunts and shows and rallies, been brought up to be the people's champions. You have zero power. The only power you have is that you get summoned to these rooms. You guys are all sitting in a conference room waiting for the Southern Naval Governor. Something about Soth. You know the guy's pissed off and he is a malignant narcissist who is on a rage. Let's do a minute. Talk about it.
Okay. Can I just say, when he mentioned theatrical republic, I was like Hamilton.
Yeah.
Like, I just imagine everyone going around singing at each other in the courtroom.
Are we... Sorry, is Soth the place that we had gotten our sugar from?
Yeah.
Yeah! You know it!
I see.
So I'm assuming they don't like the fact that they're completely surrounded. And, you know, are being slowly drained of all their resources. That's probably a thing that they're against right now.
Yeah, but isn't this the government that's doing the blockading, or is this the government against the blockading?
We are the government doing the blockading, and he is the one being blockaded, presumably, unless he has some stake in it. I don't know.
But us as the theatrical government, the Hamilton that you were just talking about, are we doing the blockading, or are we not doing the blockading?
I'm pretty sure that we, as the Hamilton that we are talking about, are doing the blockading.
So as you guys are sitting there going like, okay, well, who's responsible? There's a clatter, and a blue draconian like clatters through the room in finery. He goes, all right, what the fuck's going on? Did I miss anything?
No, not really.
Not really? What does that mean?
Nothing
I
happened.
mean, we're all...
Nothing at
We're
all
assuming
happened.
you do that.
That's what I expect, because these are my meetings and I'm here to oversee everything. Anyways, okay, so the blockade. Who was in charge of that fucking blockade? Come on, report!
Governor George, sir.
Okay, yeah, well, I was in charge of setting it up, but I wasn't running it.
Okay, yeah, go on. Several
Yeah,
of your ships have been exploded. Report!
Oh, well, it seems they just kind of exploded. You know, sometimes this happens. You know, you got a ship that blows up other shit. Look, we're taking care of it. Don't even worry about it.
Do you know how easily I can have you replaced? I can have you blown up just like that. Fed to tigers just like that. Do you want that shit? Come on! There has to be some reason. What, did a ship get through? Did you get any reports? Any eyewitnesses? Or just, boom, gunpowder explosion? Did you troll the wreckage?
Yeah.
I'm turning and staring at George.
You see, the thing is, well,
I lean in and I just... The blue draconian puts a hand on your shoulder, looks towards the rest of the table, he goes, Does anyone else have an explanation as to what happened for the blockade?
Well, there were no eyewitness accounts from any of the ships in the area as to what happened. Some of the ships that were at the blockade and some of the troops that were at the blockade said that a ship came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I have some reports that it was gunships going through.
So at this point, the governor looks at both of you. He switches slightly. He goes, "Oh, thank you very much. Very helpful." And he turns dead in the eyes to Minister George, and he goes, "It looks like you're no longer needed."
I mean, all those blockades, I'm the one running these blockades. I'm the one in charge of them.
You're absolutely correct. And he, motions to a few guards, and they grab you. He gestures out of the room, he goes, "You're going to be in charge of the next ship that gets blown up. Maybe you'll report back this time. Out!" And he gets you carried out. Gabe, just take over the next random minister who happens to be in this room.
Gabe's gonna get all the ministers thrown out, one by one.
Look, we can't keep having this happen. I understand we have a limited number of ships, but we need the second fort. We need to get that done forthwith. The far side of the South Island. We can claim that, right? They can't fight us back. They don't have the means, right?
No, of course they don't have the means to fight us back.
But it's not cleared land.
No, it's complete brush. We would have to go through it ourselves.
Maybe we can get 2 birds or 3 birds or 16 birds with one stone. How's the vagrant problem here in Riverbend?
Oh, we're taking care of it. We're getting more patrols, stricter guard schedules.
Good. You'll be able to send some of your men home soon. I want you to go around and get rid of everybody who doesn't seem to be very useful. You send them out there, you tell them that they can chop trees and get food, or not chop trees and not get food. What else we got? Any of the skag dens or brothels open? Can we raid some of those, get some people over there, keep them motivated?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see. So we gotta get that lane cleared, and then we can send some other ones. Do we have the Roanoke available?
I believe the Roanoke might be available, sir.
Good. I want you to get a bunch of military people. I want you to go in there. I want you to round up all the undesirables and shipbirds, get them onto a ship, get them over there, give them a bunch of axes, get them to clear the land. You tell your boys to wait offshore. You don't come back. You just wait and make sure none of them run off and leave the axes behind. If they do, pop. Problem solved. Sound about right?
Excellent idea. Yeah.
Bullets are cheaper than fucking welfare. And the guy spits on the ground. Okay. And he doesn't even say goodbye. He just slams the door on the ministers.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. So we're doing some raids of some brothels then?
I guess. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
What's the Roanoke?
I don't know. I thought you seemed pretty confident about it.
I was gonna warn you, but that we don't got the Roanoke no more.
What happened to the Roanoke?
It was part of that blockade that done got blown up.
Oh fuck! I need to go make some preparations, and I'm going to leave the room and I'm fucking booking it. I need to get out of here.
The moment that you inch, it's like everybody in class realizing they can all leave for lunch, and there's a swarm of people leaving the room to desperately try and not fuck this up. We cut back in the same city, but here at kind of like the sparse, barely populated dockside. You guys are at the far end of a city that was way bigger before, that's now basically a ghost town here in Riverbend. When last we met, you guys had gone through a whole bunch of nonsense, and it was around noon. Before we go any further, your plans aren't going to go so well, but what would your plans be currently?
I think our plan that we decided last time was for Sun to start stockpiling weapons and ammunition.
Yes.
For us to inevitably make a trip across. Like, we want it to be meaningful, so we want him to have, like, a good amount of supplies and munition. For the people of Soth.
Alright, what about Croakwill?
Croakwill... I don't really know what Croakwill's doing at this point.
Keep and watch?
Keep and watch. Like, this isn't a town she wants to fuck with. Like, there aren't many rich people in this town that are, like, pompous, you know? Like, it's Riverbend. Like, it's a central trade hub, but, like, it's a ghost town currently, which means that people are probably being a little bit sparse with their money. So, she's probably just fucking with Otto to see what Otto's capable of, what she is able to do with Otto.
Alright, what about Jane?
Jane's probably looking to see, like, is this a good place to sell the sugar? Can I pick up any jobs here?
Alright, so you're trolling up and down the docks when you see a bunch of soldiers approaching. Quickly, without being too noticeable, you kind of cluster up close together. They seem to be picking up you in particular. They walk up and they're clearly dressed as Imperial Guards. They go, "Hey, you're the port pass people, right?
Yes.
We need to be out of here in an hour. Don't tell anybody. Zip. Be lucky that you have a port pass. Otherwise, we'll be telling you to move it stat. All right? Get ready."
Thank
they
you.
just leave.
Okay. Not gonna be getting jobs, I guess. So let's start packing up.
What was he saying?
He's saying we gotta leave.
Did he give any reason why?
Within an hour.
No. Yeah, within an hour.
Well, all right then. I kind of crack my knuckles. Guess we better get those sails ready and get ready to leave.
Well, we've got some of the repairs done, right?
I believe so.
We got the repairs done to a sail, but not the aesthetic damage to the hull.
I think we started on the sail, so we got the sail done first. But
Yeah.
I think we did both, didn't we?
When the soldiers were saying "get out of here," they were specifically gesturing down towards the other end of the docks. They kind of wanted you to just clear space.
Oh, okay.
Well, we've never been ones to question authority. Guess we better do what they say.
I don't want to have a run-in with authority that I don't need to.
Yeah, there's no point. Although it'd be nice to find out why they're making space for us.
Well, they're not making space for us.
They're using us to make space.
I don't know. They probably got some big important military ship coming in, or something important. Maybe there's a governor someplace. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, everyone's aboard the ship. What do you want to do?
Let's bring her around, find another port, and find another pier, to dock at.
Would you be trying to stay inconspicuous, or somewhere where you have a good line of sight to what's going on?
I would just be looking to find the next open space. I'm not really thinking too much of it, honestly.
All right, so you move down port a little ways. There's a lot of open space, but you kind of bypass a few of them that aren't really near anything, so that you can slow up, at the very least, closer to a tavern or something, in case you want to grab a last meal or something before you head out. As you're doing that, you can see that there's groups of soldiers that are starting to kind of scurry throughout the streets. Briefly, as you're sailing down the pier, you kind of get sidelong, a little glimpse of a street. You see like a soldier pass, another glimpse of a street, soldier, glimpse of a street, soldier.
Okay.
Do those look like gods or military?
Shiny.
Something must be going on around here. Maybe we don't want to be in the city.
Maybe we'll want to see what we can get out of it.
You can see that by now a lot of soldiers are flooding into the area where you already were. It takes a little bit of time to like unmoor a ship and untie it and like draw the gangplank in and get some distance. So like by now you've properly like settled yourself in further down the docks. And you can see that the soldiers are starting to come and they're getting all the different ships to clear off. Some of them are clearly like being hassled or they're annoyed or pissed off, but they're clearing the space. You can see kind of coming around one of the bends around a sort of what's the word for it? Not a bay, but the
like a pier.
It's a natural formation.
Lagoon.
Sorry, Will.
Peninsula?
It's the point. You can see that, like, coming around the point at the end of the bay, there's a very, very large gunship coming around. The way that it kind of catches the sun as it's turning like a certain angle to go in towards the pier, you see that they have repainted a section kind of in the aft of the boat where the name is.
Okay.
What's it say?
Yeah, could we make out a name on it or what?
So, Jane, you've got good sniping eyes. You narrow your eyes out and go, SS Roanoke. Croquill, do you want to roll ritual?
Okie dokie. Okay. Other than the one, that was a good roll. So that is a 10, 20, 27.
27. As this thing comes into the like around the point and into the bay itself, where it's going to go dock, where everyone else is cleared out, you feel the curse the ship brings. After it's been described to you that like the name's been painted over, you know that it's really bad luck to rename a boat. But this would not be the first thing to have fouled this boat's reputation.
This boat has had a rough couple of years. Are Bilgy and I both yarring at this?
Yeah, Bilgy's like nervously gazing out at it.
That
you can see that
it's not a lucky ship.
Bilgy actually points out to the rest of you they seem to be gathering people. There's a bunch of soldiers kind of bringing people around close to the base of the ships. They're not loading them on yet. They're just like more and more like groups of soldiers are bringing groups of people into this central area and then going out to get more.
All right. Well, don't quite like the looks of this, but
some sort of prison barge of some sort?
No, I don't.
Where you guys are right now, you basically have two options. You can stay where you are, where you have a really good angle to kind of creep them, or you can get closer to get different information.
I'll try to get closer.
Well,
yeah, I'll also try and get closer.
You two feel free to do that. I'm gonna go ready the cannons and everything, just in case we gotta get out of here in a hurry.
Rutger, Kenany, and Tiana want to stay on the boat, but Bilgy's willing to go with the pair of you guys to go out there.
Okay.
So, Gabe, you notice in particular, as they're heading out, Otto's keeping a readout on their locations, specifically just Croquill's location. There's a bit of a ping, and you can see them kind of snaking back and forth. What would you guys be looking for in terms of like your angle to approach the situation?
Well, it's not like I need a visual angle. The visual angle would probably be for Jane.
Yeah.
I'd be looking to try and overhear what's going on. Like, the people who are being shoved around probably have something to say. Maybe the guards are talking about it. Even just the townsfolk talking about rumors. Like, I'd be moving all around to see what bits I can pick up.
What about Jane?
Trying to get a good, like, to see what's going on.
Okay, like a high place to peer out kind of thing. All right, you get to a place where you can see that there's like an upper balcony inside a tavern, kind of the best of both worlds for the pair of you guys. As you're going inside, it's actually really crowded, and you see that there's a bunch of fearful people kind of clustered in there. A lot of them, they look haggard, like poorly or dirtily dressed. None of them look like necessarily rough types per se, just people down on their luck. As Jane, you make your way up to get a bit of a vantage point. Croquill, you're kind of amid the group, and there's someone who kind of like pulls you in close and goes like, it's an unfamiliar voice. Bilgy, you can feel like goes to kind of get your other arm just to be like, oh, okay, not so fast. But whoever like is speaking to you goes like, you should be careful. They're rounding up, us folks.
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean by us folk. And at that, I just, like, put my hood up.
All right. So from the ship, son, you see that there's like a dockside tavern where Jane has poked up in a good little kind of like sniper nest area. And you can see what's going on as well. So both you and Jane have the same information right now. There's a group of people being rounded up. The first to go on seem to be prisoners. One by one, they're being like unshackled and then pushed aboard by armed guards. One or two of them kind of resist. They get a bit of a rifle butt and they're put back in line kind of thing. At least one of them really puts up a fight and is given a clear indication that it's this or death and finally gets dragged aboard the ship. You count, Jane specifically, you count 13 prisoners, and then you see that the rest of them are people who aren't necessarily in shackles and chains and like sackcloth the way that a prisoner would be, but just kind of like random people off the street are all kind of being pushed onto the boats.
Oh. They're just taking people? Is this legal? Isn't kidnapping legal here?
Well, they're the cops, so...
Okay, well... Maybe we shouldn't be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
At this point, Jane, you're looking out onto the crowd, taking a look at things. You see in particular that, like, this isn't just anyone. Like, they're rounding up, like, homeless people and... like disabled people and addicts and stuff like that.
That's not good for Canonier. He'll definitely have to stay on the ship.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we
should probably get back to the ship. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean... I might be able to relay this to the ship through Otto.
I'm thinking we ourselves should get out of this situation. Like,
yeah, all right, fine.
Jane, you can see that there's some Imperials going down in close towards the tavern.
Can we make it out of there before they get here?
There's maybe about 3 of them, and there's about 20 of you in the tavern. As long as you and Croquill are working together, the pair of you might be able to get out safely.
Okay, let's try to get out.
I'm gonna quickly cast like a ritual on Bilgy, Jane, and I. Probably asking for Bilgy's help because he knows ritual, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So he and I work together to make ourselves inconspicuous, basically.
All right. So Jane and Bilgy both kind of like go downstairs, being like, "Cops are coming! Cops are coming! Everybody, kind of like crowds around, starts mumbling. There's some people who move around towards the back. They realize that they're kind of surrounded. The doors go to like swing open. You can hear a clattering. You can hear Bilgy snap, and they clunk, clatter once, and then they get kicked open. There's a group of people here going, it looks like they might be recruits. They aren't super sure what they're doing. They're a little young. They're kind of like, okay, anybody here need a job? Come on, move it. And they start like getting like really aggressive out of nowhere, like pulling people aside.
Oh.
We need to shift to a side.
There's a couple of them that go and lunge towards Crowquill like, hey you, hood, take off the hood.
Why should I?
At this point, they lunge at you to physically grab you. How do you respond?
I will physically stop that from happening.
I was going to say I want a ward, but okay, yeah, if you're going to intervene on that, all right.
All right, you move into block with your hand, and at this point, one of the other ones nearby like goes to take out a sword. Bilgy quickly draws a blade, like clatters it aside, and then there's like 3 other people in the tavern that draw their weapons. The last of the Imperials draw their weapons. There's a glass that gets thrown right at the guy in front of you guys, and there's an opening.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we're out. We out.
You guys start to run. You see like Bilgy go and take a few pot shots before you tear down a side alley.
Okay. All right, let's get this boat ready to go. We're leaving here hot, I think.
Yeah. Son just hears gunfire. It's like, all right, we're out.
Yep.
Going.
All right, so you're getting the sails and stuff ready. Otto's there, and he's scanning the shoreline. Well, you got a readout. Otto doesn't have enough battery power to actually operate without manual like overrides. But Otto's still like conscious and present. You can see the heat signatures of a few of your allies kind of like skittering around a corner. They're in an alleyway and they're about to turn, and you can see if there's a few soldiers kind of about to go and check that alleyway.
Oh, okay. Well, I am gonna go hop onto Otto and sort of swivel the gun ever so slightly, just in case things get heated and they need some firepower.
All right, you aren't able to get any manual acquisition because you don't have any supplementary power, but you've got your reticles lined up and you're ready, kind of twitching on the trigger in case anything goes wrong. You can hear, everybody can hear distantly because it's like one person says it and then all of the guards repeat it when they hear it, so it echoes through the area. There's like, all aboard, all aboard, all aboard, and then it gets to you and you can hear people hollering, all aboard for Imperial Soft!
Imperial Soft?
Wait,
They're not Imperial, though. They haven't been captured yet.
Uh-oh.
At this point, Jane, Crowquill, and Bilgy, you guys see that there's a pair of guards who were about to check this alleyway but got distracted doing the call-out, so you have a moment to react before they notice you.
To the ship!
Yeah, we need to the ship. So, would they be blocking our direct path to the ship?
Yeah.
Go the other way, go around.
I was just going to blast my way through, but okay. Yeah.
Well, who would be the most gut reaction out of the 3 of you? Jane, Crowquill, or Bilgy?
That's a really good question.
That is...
It can be more than one at once, or it can be like crew action kind of thing.
I'm gonna say probably not Jane.
I feel like it's Bilgy that has the like most gut reaction specifically to this situation. Because Crowquill hasn't been in the city very much. Like, she genuinely doesn't do cities very often. This would be a very unusual situation.
All right. So, at this point, you can feel like, you can hear it, but you feel it magically more than you hear it. There's a snap that Bilgy makes. There's some sort of clattering of wood and metal or something nearby. You can't tell. Jane, you can't tell either. It's around a corner, but something's broken. Both of them look. Bilgy, taps your crossbow, points at one. He then physically grabs Croquill your hand, points it in a direction, and he mumbles, "Pain."
Pain. I'm going to do a wave of pain because I don't do darts because I can't accurately aim darts.
All right.
I'm going to shoot the guy, I guess.
It's also worth noting for this, Will, that I took the artillery benefit. So my big boom goes bigger boom.
Good. Tell me how much it booms. Give me some rolls on the boom.
Okay, I think the way artillery works was any AoE blast, the surrounding area of the blast took a separate 2d6. I think that's how that worked.
That sounds about fair. Like it's bonus AoE space. I'll double check though.
That wasn't that good of a roll. That was a really shitty roll, actually. So that's 18 for the main blast.
It's 2d6 for the AoE kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So then in the AoE, oh, motherfucker, do I get my magic bonus or is it just
2d6 for the extra?
3.
All right, so the main was 18, though?
Yes. In a
All right.
blast. I'm not sure how that reduces damage or anything like that. Like Kona.
All right, so you fire off in the general direction. It's enough that both of them are briefly stunned. Jane, you're able to take off a pot shot if you so choose at one of the two guards.
Yep, I do.
What's the damage on that?
21.
All right. There's kind of like a surge of crackling something. You can't even discern a color. You just see something happen briefly in the area before it fizzles. Everyone there kind of buckles over for a second. You fire off a shot that embeds in one of the guy's shoulders. Both of them kind of alarmed look at each other. The one grabs the other and pulls him off to the side. You have a brief opening, and the three of you bolt onwards as everyone's kind of looking around. There's a few civilians kind of clutching at the sides of their heads, bracing against nearby objects, and it's just enough distraction for you to blend with the crowd.
I'm sorry. Yep. Out we go.
All right.
Out.
On the ship, you see that they are fighting against the tide of the crowd, but coming towards the crowd, there is an armored wagon. This thing's like a 2-horse wagon with 4 horses, and it seems to have metal plating, so there's probably something heavier in there. You can see a guard on top, sure enough, doing the whole cranking siren thing going.
Me and the boys playing.
Ooh. How close are my friends to getting onto this boat?
You have to make a decision as to how you're going to help them out.
Well, I've always wanted to try auto against an armored target.
All right, give me a roll then.
This
would just be
All
your
right, buddy,
normal
hunker
weapon
down. And I'm make a normal weapon roll.
Yeah. Or
All right.
Or your crafting skill, whichever one is applicable if you're using auto on manual.
They are both the same. Okay, so that is a 17.
All right. You fire off a couple of shots. You can see that 1 or 2 of them dent, but some of them puncture. The horses that they're pulling the cart are starting to panic, and you can see that whoever's hearing running the siren, you can hear them first. It sputters. They kind of get low to make sure they're not getting hit. This thing peels off to the side. The crowd itself kind of starts to shuffle and move. There's a bit of a loosening for a moment, and Croquill, Jane, and Bilgy are able to run aboard.
The guy's just don't shoot me.
So Jane and Crockwell, you guys run aboard. Bill G kind of waves towards Tiana, and the pair of them haul up the gangplank, and you kind of like unfurl sail.
We out.
But where to?
Well, that is an excellent question, because we need info on Soth now, if they're calling it Imperial Soth. If it actually is Imperial or not, because that kind of determines whether or not we're going back with guns.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it don't. Even if, the gun market only increases in price when some place gets conquered. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Well, there's Soth
fair.
itself, which is centered around the capital of Dagger Bay. There's a far coast that's uninhabited, and then another coast that used to be part of Soth, but that was retaken by the Imperials, where they actually have a few forts and bases. So the island itself is currently being fought over, within the island.
right. Do we want to help the people on the Roanoke, or do we not? Because, I mean, like, if they're going to be taken away to Soth for helping to conquer Soth, then that's also not good.
Yeah. But we can't really do anything against a really large gunship.
Well, I mean, we could sink it, but no, I see your point.
How big?
The apparatus itself kind of growls as you guys are getting closer to the opening in the bay, where you're able to kind of pick which way you turn off.
How big is the Roanoke?
The Roanoke, it seems, is a 4-gun. It's very much like a standard fare, like high-brow Imperial gunship.
Okay.
The kind of thing that you guys can take on as long as you have an advantage, but if you are on an even playing field or lower, you don't really stand a chance.
I mean, our best attacks have been at night.
I mean, yeah, stealth is a pretty big advantage.
If we
Look,
wanted to attack this ship.
I don't want to poke holes in your chivalrous action, but what good do we do by sinking the boat all these poor souls are sitting on?
Brooker speaks up and he goes, "You're right. They're all prisoners and stuff. Maybe we can get Soth to help."
Right. I mean, yeah. Well, we can provide Soth with help in the form of, high-quality munitions.
Wait. What was the game of cards that you showed me? You just revealed my card. That one. What was it?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I love that one.
Yes! Yorgyu! Yes, that's the one. You just revealed my secret card. Let's reveal a secret card on them, huh?
Yeah, you got a secret card up your sleeve, or
Rooker kind of deflates a little and goes, "Oh well, I don't know. Maybe we make our way back into Dagger Bay and see if I don't know, because maybe they can." Yeah, shit, you're right. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You bought a whole bunch of supplies while we were in the city, right?
Yeah, just a day stock. We can keep sailing for a month or two.
Yeah, I mean for Sun, you got a whole bunch of stock for making bullets and stuff, right?
That I did.
Well, we could maybe I don't know, how long do you need to make all that stuff?
Well, I've been thinking, there's not much point if we're trying to overthrow an entire imperialist takeover and designing high quality. All they really need to do is win one fight against one guard and then take his weapon. So I'm thinking,
yeah, but they'll need bullets.
Well, they'll need one. And they take whatever that guard is carrying. See, I'm thinking of doing sort of more of a mass production line sort of setup. Make a whole bunch of single-use firearms, and then distributing them. So,
Okay.
Now, what we originally was planning to do was you go in and you sell them. But what we could also do is... now, it's bad for business, but what if we were to, the next time this boat comes on in, looking to kidnap people, what if they, what if when that boat arrived in Imperial South, it was full of heavily armed... No, that's stupid. No, never mind. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, maybe you're thinking we get them armed for... Rooker's like furrowing his brow, and then Tiana goes in and goes, "No, you're right. Inside job. No,
but here's the problem with that. You got a whole bunch of people that don't want to be rounded up and put on a boat, and then we come in and say, "Hey, no worries. We're going to give you all guns. Now get on this boat." They're going to say, "Hell no," and they're going to stay put.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Is they're sending people off, right? And I think if they're rounding people like they're probably getting them to do some dirty work. Maybe they're clearing land or something like that. These aren't fancy people. These aren't soldiers. These aren't like nobles. These are working people, right? So they're rallying them. So maybe we can find out where that ship goes. And then we talk to them in the woods in secret and get them armed. And then they can take over the ship and ruin the plan.
That's an excellent plan. I like the way you think.
We'll need arms to give them, though.
Yeah. No, don't you worry. Don't count on Ye and Son. I got you covered on that front.
They can start working on the mechanisms right now.
So,
good flintlocks.
Yeah, well, your average
It would
firearm
need to be small and concealable, obviously.
Right. Your average gun is like 5 gold. I'm thinking, like, how cheap? If I were to design a gun that is literally like you have to take the barrel off to pack it. Like, you cannot reload this thing in battle. This is like a tube with a handle attached.
There's a name for that. It's a zip gun. No, not a zip gun. It's a different thing. What am I thinking of?
There's been like the Liberator pistol was sort of that idea.
Yeah, like it's a homemade firearm that's deliberate. I'll say half price, and it's like 1 shot, and then you can repair it to make it a 2-shot.
Okay. Perfect.
Part of your
you
daily
can mass produce those.
Daily supplies is just reloading your gun.
No, 100%. This is like you sneak up on somebody and you shoot him in the back, and then hopefully he dies, and you can take whatever he was carrying and move on to the next guy.
I'm just imagining normal D&D where you have like a ranger with a crossbow, and it's like, "Excuse me, can we take a long rest? I need to reload my crossbow."
No, it's exactly that.
Yeah, like you shoot 1 shot and then you go, "Okay, I have a metal tube. Can it contain another ballistic projectile, or will it blow up in my hand?" Yeah, mass producing boomsticks.
Boomsticks.
In that case, Bill G kind of like narrows his eyes and goes, "Well, what kind of project are they running? They're getting all these people trying to take Soth then, or?"
I mean, they must be. They were saying Imperial Soth, right? They're trying.
But they don't want any other things. They don't want the sugar. They don't want the wheat. They don't want anything. So what's the point?
Power? Land?
Yeah, probably just the land.
I mean, yeah.
I guess we can find out once we figure out everything that's going on there.
At this point, you guys are like well out into the bay, sailing out at sea, getting away from the situation. To the point where you should probably take out a look at your map and figure out where you're headed.
Yeah, don't worry, Ken. The majority of the session will probably be in town, Ken. We won't have to do any navigation.
You're the ones who chose to flee, all right? You're the ones who chose to run.
Fair. There were armed guards.
Don't blame me if you have player agency in this tabletop role-playing game that's a group storytelling experience.
Well, while you guys are looking at the map, I am gonna go try and make a gun that's bad, but also good.
I think I need to go up a map coordinate.
Yeah, it should be just 1 up, I think.
Where the hell is my map coordinate?
Do you want me to figure out what...
F8.
F8, okay.
Does that sound good? Does that sound correct?
I think so.
There we go. Nope, that wasn't correct.
Nope.
We need... is that correct?
Would it be G8 then? 1 over?
Yeah, I think it would be G8.
Either way, you had the right one before where you had kind of the bay. The world map might be more useful. You see how, beneath the big central landmass on the world map, there's kind of the big island where Soth is?
Yes.
The lighter portion is where it's largely like plains and lowlands, and that's where Dagger Bay is set. The uninhabited area is kind of on the southwestern shore, and the mountains is where, like, basically the Empire has a few forts that they're sending boats out of.
Okay. So would we be heading back to Dagger Bay then? Or would we be following this ship in order to find out where they're going?
Good question.
Question for the crew.
Well, I mean, I don't super like the idea of tailing a big old gunship, but as long as we keep our distance and aren't suspicious, I suppose there's no harm.
Will, I'm gonna Omen Watcher. How do I feel about heading to Imperial-controlled Soth? In terms of tailing this ship? Like, just kind of like getting ahead of it kind of thing.
Do you feel like it's a safe bet? Or
Yeah,
the entire idea of getting involved with this Soth stuff?
I mean, specifically, if we were to go there, how do I feel about that ship coming there as well?
Like the Roanoke?
Yes.
You have a good feeling about that. You figure that they're probably heading down to Soth.
We need to just head down to Imperial-owned Soth, and we'll be able to find it. We don't need to tail this.
Okay. I'll trust you on that. I don't know how this magic shit works.
At this point...
Just know it's never failed me.
At this point, Bilgy waggles finger and goes, wait, are we flat, concave, or convex?
Excellent question.
Tiana kind of shuffles and goes, I haven't really been checking.
What?
I don't really know what those words mean.
I don't know, you're usually the one who checks it. Is the world flat or concave or Well, hold on, why would that matter?
Like the world? Is like the whole world?
You know, it's like if you put a wooden board across two things, it kind of goes a little bit, maybe it stretches a little bit every once in a while. Who knows?
The world is mostly flat, but it does not remain perfectly flat. The last time you checked, which was a thing that happened on stream, the world was round. Like it curved outwardly. You might have to check again, though.
How do we check? Is that a magic thing?
It's just a visual thing. You see, like, how the chips disappear when they disappear. If they kind of go under, it's round. If they kind of just fade, it's probably more flat. And if you see them rise, it's a little more convex. We're going to determine how easy it is to fade, like to tail people.
Okay. Well, we can... Are there any ships other than the Roanoke that we could test this on?
You go around Ripple Bend, and you can see that there's like the big hookway that heads along the southern end of the peninsula. You can see ships kind of disappearing and appearing on either end of the horizon.
I mean, how are they disappearing?
Kroko can't tell. Someone else has to.
I'll check, yeah.
Kroko goes, ship.
Kroko like makes a big dramatic like, I can't really tell.
All right, Jane, do you want to give me a sailing roll?
Would that be a physical roll?
Mental or physical, I guess. At this point, probably physical because you're trying to peer and like visibly discern.
I love the idea of fuck you-ness of Crowquill taking over Otto just to calculate whether or not a ship is going across the thing. Just to be like, fuck you, I can't! Otto, get over here!
8.
Otto, get over here. You're bolted to the deck.
You haven't noticed anything up with the tides in the past few days, and you can't really tell if they're like going low or high or just fading. You think you're probably in a transitional state. You don't know if you would lose them if you tried to tail them, or if they would catch you if you tried to tail them, or what the situation would be.
Okay.
We could just YOLO it. Or just go, like... Let them... Are they ahead of us, or have they left yet?
They haven't left yet.
Can't we go ahead of them?
You could. You're not sure where they're heading.
Well, we're pretty sure that they're headed to Soth, right?
So that's part of the island. It's a big island.
I specifically asked about Imperial Soth.
So you want to check, like, the mountainside?
Yeah, I mean, like, what? Somebody mentioned going ahead of them.
Yeah, Crowquill is basically like, if we head to Imperial Soth, we'll probably find them there. Like, we'll meet up with them there.
Why don't we do that? Then we don't need to worry about them catching us tailing them if we're the ones in front of them. Right?
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
Alright, in that case, you guys would be heading sort of southeasterly around the far end of Soth towards the Imperial section, which is all kind of like mountainous.
I'm noticing on the small map.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind. It wouldn't be worth it. I was thinking of going out of our way to duck behind an island to wait for them, but no. Never mind.
No, you absolutely could. That would be a super valid move to make. That's like a genuine sailor tier move to make.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing an island on the east side that we could duck behind, other than this, and I'll move. Other than this island that's too far away, like there'd be no point. Other than like this island, but that's not far east enough.
Maybe down a square you'll see something.
Why did I complicate things? Oh. Yeah, that's an island we could definitely hide behind.
Yeah.
Sure.
But you should be able to see the colors in particular. So, like, there's a few distant settlements that are Imperial on the close side. The ones that are, like, on the opposite side of the water there would probably be independent, so they'd be willing to shelter you if you need to resupply.
Okay. That seems doable. We can hide behind one of those islands and see if we can see them entering this sort of area. And make a decision from there.
All right. Do you guys want to save that for next episode while you're tailing this ship, or do you want to like go through the time to like do a little bit of extra crafting, get a little bit of numbers done, do the physical travel to get there first? What's your preference?
What? I gotta do the crafting.
Yeah, Gabe's got to do the crafting. We got to know what our mass supply is. Producing a gun for basically a gold.
In that case, let's go back to Riverbend and start doing some calculation.
Alright. I wonder whatever happened to Senator George. Poor Senator George.
Or Senator George.
We won't be hearing from him again.
I was starting to get a little bit curious as to why every other senator in the room had a smoker's cough.
Listen, if you worked for that guy, you'd smoke too.
Well, apparently he did too, because it was basically just me and Chelsea that didn't have a smoker's cough in the entire senator's room.
You're the only one who weren't invited to cigar night, I guess.
Yeah.
God damn it.
The wind is going like a sharp northwesterly. It isn't really in your favor.
Surprise.
You're able to make it basically to the border of the next grid, directly southbound.
Okie dokie.
At this point, by the time you're starting to sail away from Riverbend proper, after that altercation with the Imperials and all that stuff, it's getting closer to like the early afternoon. So by the time you start to see the distant shapes of what could be landmass, it's getting closer to the late afternoon. How is crafting going? You're getting Kennedy to help you, right?
Yes.
All right. He gives you +7. Gives you +19.
+19. All right. Okay. That's 85 copper out of 2.5 gold, I believe.
All right. So you're most of the way through, basically getting like the firing mechanism going, getting the like tube properly fitted. At this point, if anything, you're kind of at the point where you're resisting the urge to make this good because you know you're going to need to mass manufacture them.
Yeah, no. What I'm imagining here is instead of you have like a paper cartridge and that's how you hold everything together. Mm-hmm. I'm just picturing like a tube with paper sort of crammed around the end and then like almost zip tied off so everything stays in there. And then at the other end of the tube, there's just a little hole and like what you might have on a lighter with your thumb where you just go to get a spark. And that's your firing. There's no trigger. You just, with your thumb, just and you're hoping that it ignites and just like a big old hand cannon full of powder. Like, you got one shot, hope that does it.
So you and Kennedy are working on kind of making sure that you have a good standardizable prototype you can get working further on. Meanwhile, hold on, you said 85 copper? Is that what you said?
In total, in total. I've been crafting. I was crafting while we were looking at the map.
All right. In that case, it's getting closer to the late afternoon, and you're getting down into the island proper. You're not sure if the shift's left yet. You haven't seen it kind of go in or out of the hookway, but you can see hookway traffic from here. The wind is still keeping kind of northwesterly. It's getting a little rainier. You end up making it about 1.5 squares before it starts to get a little darker. We'll get a roll for Cannoneer here.
Cannoneer.
I just keep watching Maya in the background.
I know.
I can't help it. It's doggo.
So with +18.
With +18, all right, and that puts us at 140.
Ooh, nice.
Right. So at this point, you've like gotten a few different. You've gotten one big long tube. You've sawed it into several different barrels. You're starting to get this like mass produced now that you know what the design is going to be. You still don't have any of them ready, but you have enough parts that you can start to assemble them bit by bit.
Yeah.
It's getting closer to around dinner time. Where are you on the map right now?
We are at the top of G9.
All right. So with this travel, you would have made it down like 1.5 squares. You're almost at the crook between the two, like the island and the mainland. And the closer you get, the more that you're like, oh yeah, this is the ambush spot. This is the butter.
Yeah. This is the good bit.
All right. In that case, it's around dinner time. After taking your rest and your sleep schedule still kind of resetting, you guys are still a little bit kind of creamed. Are you going to push a little further?
Well, if we're trying to beat them there, I don't think they're in any particular rush.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
All right. You're sitting there going, is it? Oh, I think we're good. And then the wind goes directly at you to the point where you have to tack heavily. And it's like, fuck it. You just kind of anchor out here out in the open. There's a few ships here and there that are doing the same since you're not far from the hookway. If anything, it's kind of an inconspicuous place where you can watch and see if any major ships start to turn inwards. Rooker has some dinner ready. He passes it around. Just kind of standard fish stew. Fresh rations. He's trying not to waste anything, trying to use anything fresh he has.
It's always good. It's always good when we get fish stew. Better than
Oh, yeah.
You don't want a frickin' ocean biscuit, TM.
No. No, you do not.
You do not. Well, in that case, why don't we leave that for tonight? I know this is a bit shorter of a session, but I'll leave you as you're basically scanning and waiting to start tailing this boat.
Okay.
All right.
You were not expecting us to run, were you?
I was not expecting anything, and I'm glad that you're intrigued, and I find it interesting that you're taking the gain additional information route. It's an interesting route.
Yes. Well,
if you want to gain additional information about this game, you can check out our previous episodes at youtube.com/ I think it's still youtube.com/ Mr. Croton, right?
Yes.
Although here we are at twitch.tv/Croton Live.
Yes.
And the rules are still at bloodwine.fandom.com. Any big streams coming up?
Yes.
I know we're doing more FMV shit.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure I'm gonna stream tomorrow. RimWorld was a lot of fun last week, so I might do that again this week.
Mm-hmm.
But also I might just have other life things that I need to take care of, so I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but if I do, it's going to be RimWorld, and it's going to be a lot of fun because I have Mech Man in his constant attempts to woo the woman that he captured and also assemble a robot army. It's
excellent, beautiful, wonderful.
It's great. And on Saturday, Will and I are going to be taking a tour through Contradiction, which is a great FMV game. I'm so excited to get to play it. After, I guess this is like an FMV extravaganza, going through the full motion video games.
Anyways, outro. I really need to piss. Please end this stream. It's been fun having you.
Alright, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.